Hey everyone, I'm Michael, and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to just briefly cover why I think street epistemology can help us to identify if we're under or overconfident because of the way that our brains interpret the information that we notice. If you haven't seen my other videos in this series, then check out the links in the description below. It's best to watch them in order. Anyway, let's get into it. Our perception is imperfect. Once selected information gets filtered from our senses and into our awareness, there are many ways that our brain mistakenly interprets or misunderstands what it is that we are experiencing. One explanation for this is that to be energy efficient, our brain looks for patterns and uses mental shortcuts to predict meaning based on our past experiences and beliefs about those experiences. According to this view, this can happen across all of our senses. So let's have a quick look at how this might work.
And if you haven't seen it before, hopefully what you will see here is just a pattern of black and white splodges. Does everybody kind of get that? Black and white splodges? Yeah, some of you might have seen this before. And now what I'm going to do is fill it in, and you'll see something very different. What you'll see is a very meaningful scene here involving at least two objects, a woman, a hat, and a horse. Now, if you stare at this for a while, I won't leave it up for too long, but if you just look at it for a little bit, and then I take that image away again, you should still be able to see the objects within that image. Now, for me, this is quite remarkable because the sensory information hasn't changed at all. All that's changed are your brain's prior expectations about what that sensory data signifies, and this changes what you consciously see. Now, this also works in the auditory domain. I'm going to play you the top first, and let's see what it sounds like.
Jazz and swing bands like fast music. Jazz and swing bands like fast music.
And now I'll play you something else.
Jazz and swing fans like fast music.
So I hope you all understood that piece of sage advice. And now if I play the original sound again.
Jazz and swing bands like fast music.
Yeah? So it's exactly the same. Again, all that's changed is what we expect that sound to signify.
Okay, and in the next example that's coming up in a few moments, we'll be able to see how our brains can wrongly interpret present moment sensory data based on incorrect prior expectations about what that sensory data signifies. And you'll see that this problem of perception can be particularly problematic because in some cases, like in this example coming up, these interpretation errors can be so strong that even in the face of contradictory evidence, our untrue beliefs can still seem so real. Okay, here it is, the shaded tile shadow illusion. Does the top tile look like the same shade of grey as the bottom tile, or does it look like a different shade of grey? Most people will say it looks different. The top tile looks dark and the bottom one looks white. But they are in fact the same shade of grey, and we can do a simple test to prove this. Just get a ruler or use your finger to go across the middle of the image like this, and you will see that they are both in fact the same shade of grey. You can pause the video if you like and try this for yourself by placing a ruler across the middle and blocking out the background. So even though we can test it and show that they are actually both the same shade of grey, when we remove the ruler and whatever we use to cover up the background, the brain convinces us again that they are different. That's how strong the interpretation error can be. I think street epistemology can help us, at least to some degree, to be more aware of those judgments that are affected by interpretation errors, because just like the shadow illusion test that we ran, we are, when doing street epistemology, genuinely looking for information that might reliably show us that we're wrong. I also think that this approach is really important because of an interpretation error known as confirmation bias, which is a natural tendency to only notice information that could be interpreted as supporting a belief that we already hold. If we don't make a deliberate attempt to look for ways that can disconfirm what we believe, we might get stuck in a loop of ever-increasing confidence in a harmful belief that is actually untrue. Here's an example showing how people can easily get stuck in confirmation bias if they only look for evidence that confirms their belief instead of looking for evidence that disconfirms it.
I'm going to give you guys three numbers, a three-number sequence, and I have a rule in mind that these three numbers obey. And I want you to try to figure out what that rule is. But the way that you can get information is by proposing your own set of 3 numbers to which I will say, yes, that follows my rule, or no, it doesn't follow my rule, and then you can propose what you think the rule is. Yeah, okay, so here are the 3 numbers. 2, 4, 8.
16, 32, and
64.
Those also follow my rule.
Okay.
What's the rule? What are you thinking?
Multiply by 2.
That is not my rule.
What?
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12 follows my rule.
10, 20, 40.
10, 20, 40.
That follows the rule.
Yeah, I'm still multiplying by 2.
I know.
Oh.
I know what you're doing. And yes, it follows my rule, but no, it's not my rule.
5, 10,
10 and 20.
Follows my rule.
100,
200, 400.
Follows my rule.
500, 1,000, 2,000.
Follows my rule.
But do I just keep going? You're going to tell me your rule?
Am I doing it the wrong way? Am I approaching this the wrong way?
You're totally fine,
Okay.
but you're approaching it the way most people approach it.
Okay, I'm going to give you the numbers that I don't think fits the sequence and then see what you say.
10,
I don't know
9,
how
8.
to do this.
Does not follow the rule.
10, 9, 8 does not.
Oh, so is it all in ascending order?
Booyah.
Okay.
Up top. Yes, first
that
ones
what it
to get
is?
it. You guys nailed it.
So you can see from that example how someone might be stuck forever confirming a belief that they have even when their belief is untrue, causing them to only ever be more and more confident in what they believe with potentially no way to show them that they're wrong. Since we're all affected to some degree by interpretation errors like these, I think that doing street epistemology with people who hold different beliefs to mine can help me to identify different perspectives and reasons that may, through reliable testing, disconfirm what I believe. By asking my conversation partner who holds a different belief to me questions like, what could you learn or discover that would increase your confidence that this is true? I give myself a better chance of discovering how I might be wrong. Similarly, by asking questions like, what could you learn or discover that would decrease your confidence that this is true? And what are the best reasons you've heard from those who don't believe this? I might be helping them to think of ways that they could discover how they might be wrong. I also think that it's important to focus first exclusively on how my conversation partner arrived at their confidence level without introducing in any way my own thoughts or opinions on the matter, because if I don't do that, I might interfere with their train of thought and miss out on an opportunity to learn from them about their reasons and their reasoning. I think this approach gives us both the chance of dealing at least to some degree more effectively with confirmation bias and other interpretation errors that may be affecting our judgments, and that it helps us to have a better chance of accurately updating the beliefs we have about ourselves, other people, and the world around us. So that's my quick take on how street epistemology can help to deal more effectively with interpretation errors. I hope you enjoyed it. Coming soon, I'll be talking about motivated reasoning and the degree to which I think street epistemology can help to deal with that problem as well. I'm keen to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave a comment. Take care, and thanks for watching.